000, what's your emergency?
There's been an accident at a construction site.
I've been in the construction industry for around 30 odd years. I've seen a lot of changes in that time. No doubt before I retire, I'll see a few more. I've been involved with a couple serious ones, and it's not good to see. It's terrible, and it plays on your mind for quite some time, and I have seen a few. One's been a fatality, one on this site 12 months ago on August the 4th. It was a terrible night. I'll never forget it. The worst thing about it is you could be looking at somebody, and as quick as it takes you to blink your eye, everybody's lives change. That's it. It's gone forever, and you can't have a big wand and wave it and bring people back. It's gone, and it plays on your mind forever. CCW turned up at daylight the next day and offered support to everybody on site. From our directors right down, where they had councillors here, and even our upper management really appreciated it. They still talk about how well they'd done to appreciate what CCW done for us that night and the next day. And since then, they've continued to show their support. Anything any of us need, we ring JJ up and it's here, it's done. They help you whether you're in the union or you're not. They help people whether they're in management or workers. They do everything for you. If you need to be taken to the doctor, you need to be taken to a psychologist, it's not a problem. They come, they help, they do it. End of story. They're second to none. But it's great to know you've got somebody like CCW watching your back. And they continue that support today. Like we have a memorial coming up in a week and a half's time, and they'll be on site again. And no doubt that'll be a tough day. That'll be terrible. You know, it's hard for us, but imagine how hard it is for the wife who lost a husband, children who lost their father, grandchildren who lost their grandfather, brothers and sisters who lost their oldest brother, nieces and nephews who lost their uncle, and all their workmates and friends who lost a work colleague. That's how tough it is. And CCW are there to help you. So that's why I think CCW is probably the best support system I've ever seen.
I've been in the construction industry for 47 years. I've witnessed a lot of serious accidents in that time, which were so close to fatalities it wasn't funny. We had a fatality on one of our sites in 2012, and it was a Saturday, and you don't get, who do you call on a Saturday from anywhere else? Everything's closed, so we rang up CCW and they were there in a matter of no time at all to give that support for us. On the Monday they come down there and all the blokes were on site, and they just sat down with them and just made sure they were okay, had a chat, offered them the services that they explained what the services were and how to deal with that sort of thing, yeah. We see them on the jobs all the time, so when they come to a site after an incident or a fatality like that, people know who they are. I did use them on a personal basis many years ago. I was on a site where Jason from CCW come down to see me over another matter, and he had asked me, he said, "Oh, you don't look real good, Al, are you doing okay?" And I said, I thought I was. And he said, "I'm going to organise some to go and see someone, to have a talk to him," which I did. And it was the best thing I ever done. I didn't realise it myself. I was looking like that. He picked it up straight away, and I owe him for it big time, very big time, because it was a very personal change in my life. Yeah, you can go to your insurance companies and stuff like that, but they don't know the industry. They don't know the people that's in it. You can't ring them up at 10 o'clock at night and say, "Listen, I need to have a chat," like CCW. You can ring these guys anytime, and they're there. They're not there a week later. You don't make an appointment and go and see them. They actually come down and see you. They offer a lot of service because people, when there's a serious accident, people deal with it in different ways. Some people go away and have a little bit of a mental breakdown sort of thing. Some people go away and drink to get over it. Some people go away and take illicit drugs to get over it. There's people go home and they take it out on their families. These guys offer all the services to cover that, and that's what you need. And it's ongoing too. Like after a serious incident, it mightn't affect you for the first month, 6 months, 12 months, but in my case with my personal tragedy, that was 2 years later that it was picked up. So you've got to have that place where you can ring them up, and CCW do that. You can ring them 2 years down the track, and they know what's happened 2 years before that because they were involved in it themselves. So it's great. If you're a construction worker or work in the construction industry, they will help you out. CCW do that. I've seen them help management side of the people who've been involved in these incidents. It doesn't matter whether you work. If you're in management, then they'll still involved and they'll help them out as well. We're construction workers, we're tough. but inside we're not at all. And we tend to deal with it, and I don't think people realise. I think we realise it more now that we're not as tough as what we think we are, because these services are available and we've used those services. In my younger days, you kind of dealt with it because that's what you're supposed to do, but you never get over it. You never get over it.
Generally, we'll receive a phone call, and that will most likely go to either JJ or Shane, and then between the two of those, they'll have a quick debrief with the other field officers, and we try to deploy a field officer to the accident or incident site, generally within 2 hours. We'll go down and we'll come down with some paperwork, and it's called a trauma response book, which has been put together by a clinical psychologist and a social worker. So it really explains to the actual worker some of the potential feelings they could be feeling over the next period of time. So we get them to take them home with them and share the incident with their partners if they can, or someone that's at home, because they might be able to have a look and see some triggers that actual individual is starting to suffer. So if there has been a fatality on a site, we will come down the next day, or we'll go down at the time, but we'll also come back the next day with a clinical psychologist. We will make sure that we get all the information from the sites and make sure all the individuals are debriefed, and then from that we'll take an individual case management load on that person.
Individuals will come and see us, where we'll sit down with them and go through the intake process. From there we develop a support plan, and we identify the issues that they need to be addressed. And from there we can do the identify referral pathways. We have had to deal with people who've been traumatised by or been even involved in the workplace accidents. We're still dealing with a number from 5 years, 10 years ago. These people come often, initially they want some initial support, which we get a lot of the trauma support in initially, but over time as the investigation into the accident occurs, and they still need some ongoing support, and you can find that they go away and they come back, and they go away and they come back, and yeah, we're always here to help them. It just depends at different times in their life where they'll need the additional support.
So the practical reason we need a service like CCW is to assist injured workers, and to also, unfortunately, assist the families of workers who've been killed. So CCW, on the day of an accident, provides support to the workers. It helps them get through the initial shock of what's happening, but those services are extended not only to the people at the workplace, but often we send support workers to family members. The reality is not everybody's in the union on a construction site. There's a lot of managers, and there's a lot of people who choose not to be in the union. There's one thing that CCW does, it doesn't discriminate. It's about caring, it's about looking after people, it's about showing that the face of the construction industry, even though it's predominantly male and projected as a tough, robust industry that takes on all comers, the reality is when people are vulnerable, we make sure that we step up and protect them and assist them. And no matter who you are, CCW will be there for you and your family. I'm extremely proud of the work that CCW does. I think the whole industry should be proud of it also.
When someone is seriously injured, traumatised, or loses their life in a workplace accident, the whole ACT construction industry is touched. CCW would like to dedicate this video to all workers that have lost their lives, and also to the families that suffer without their loved ones, and the individuals and families who have been seriously affected by a workplace incident. CCW is here to support you. We can't promise to fix everything for you, but we can promise you won't have to face anything alone. CCW has got your back.